Welcome to day 27 of 30 days of Photoshop. Today we're going to show you how to replace skies in any photograph and make it look completely realistic. Hello and welcome back to 30 days of Photoshop. My name is Aaron Nason. Today we're showing you how to do sky replacement tips and tricks, as well as getting the color and the light right. So here's our background image, and as you can see, everything looks really good, just the sky doesn't have that much detail in it. So the first thing I want to do is kind of like point out some of the things that we're going to be looking for in our image. Let's go ahead and switch our color to white. The first thing you need to do is take a look at the original light inside of your image, because you want to make sure you find a sky that has similar lighting. Now in this case, you can see that my light source is coming from the right hand side of the image. You can see we have a highlight here on the right hand side of these mountains and a shadow on the left. The other thing you can see is we have a relatively warm color in our sky. So we want to find a sky where the light source preferably is coming from the right or the left. You can flip it around, that's okay with the sky, but you also want to make sure you find a warm colored sky. You don't want to just put a sky in here that's just a bright blue sky from a day, or like a cloudy sky from a storm or something like that, or where the sun is like either directly behind the camera or directly in front of the camera. You want to make sure you match as much of those things from your original image as you possibly can. It's going to help the sky look a lot more natural. All right, let's go ahead and delete that. So now that we've talked about those elements, let's go ahead and grab our finder, and I've found a sky that I think is going to look great. So we're going to click and drag this sky right here into this image and hit enter. And as you can see, we have warm color here in the sky, and we have the light is kind of coming from the left-hand side of these clouds. So we're going to go ahead and start by putting this into our background image. Fantastic. Now let's make this invisible right now. We're going to go to our background image and we're going to go to select and then down to sky. Fantastic. So select sky. Let's click on our sky layer and click on our layer mask icon. There we go. Now the sky looks totally decent. We are going to have to make some changes here to actually make it look good. We're going to talk about those in just a second. But the first thing I want to do is unlink the sky with the sky layer mask. That way I can move it around. Okay. So with my layer, you're going to see right here we have our sky and then we have the layer mask. And by default, they're going to be linked together. So if I move one, the other one is going to move as well. And you can see it kind of destroys the illusion. What we want to do is make sure we click on this chain link icon between these two. And that way I can click here on the sky and I can move just the sky if I need to. And my layer mask is going to stay in the exact same place. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now I want to go ahead and flip my sky horizontally. As we saw, the light from my background image is coming from the right-hand side. I'm going to hold Shift and click on the sky, and we can see some of the light is kind of coming from the bottom and the left of this sky. Okay, so let's go to our sky layer. I'm going to hit Control-Command-T for transform, and we're going to flip this horizontally. Okay, that's just going to look a little bit better, and you can scale this and make it as big or as small as you want to. It's a sky, so don't worry about the information and things like that. Okay, now this looks really good. The other thing we want to make sure when we're putting in our new sky is we want to make sure to match the color and the light levels as best as we possibly can, because the sky does dictate the color and the light of your original image. So we're going to make this layer invisible real quick to kind of take a look at the original color and light of our photograph. If I grab my eyedropper tool right over here, we can see the color of my original photograph, the original sky. You can see we have like kind of a bright yellow, and then it kind of moves down into an orange color right over here. All right, so let's go ahead and hit OK. Now, if I have my new sky in here, you can see it's a lot more blue than my original sky. So it's not blending super well yet. And we have a few different options to help this blend a little bit better. Okay, now my first suggestion whenever you do this type of blending is here where you have like your new sky entering to the horizon or wherever it meets those objects. I recommend fading that sky out just a little bit. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to group this new sky with itself. Let's hit Control-Command-G to group this with itself. And then I'm going to put a layer mask on this group by clicking here. So we have a layer mask here on the group. We still have our sky, and then we have a layer mask for the sky. So here in the layer mask for the group, we're going to hit G for our gradient tool. So let's go to the gradient tool. Let's make sure we're selected on gradient, and then here in the drop down, just go to your basics, and we're going to go to a simple black to white gradient. that looks good. We're going to be using our linear gradient and then just click and drag up just like this. And it's going to kind of help fade out. Basically, I'm just fading out the new sky, and it's going to show through to the original sky just a little bit better. Okay, so already you can see that helps. I'm going to hold shift and click on this layer mask. There's the before and the after. You can see in the after, it looks a lot more realistic. Okay, now the next thing we want to do is make sure we match the color correctly. That's really important because this new sky, you can see it's just a little bit too blue. We want to make sure that it matches with the original sky color just a little bit better. Now, I do have a couple of ways to kind of view this image that will help us out. The first way is I'm going to group all this with itself again, and I'm going to put a layer mask on this group. Next, I'm going to grab my marquee tool here, rectangular marquee. Let's go ahead and select about half of my image, just like this. And then let's go ahead and on this layer mask, I'm going to fill this with black. There we go. And hit Control Command D to deselect. Fantastic. So now you can see we actually have 3 different layer masks. And you might be like, why are you making 3 different layer masks? Well, the first layer mask, this is our sky. And then the layer mask that just makes it only visible in the actual sky. The next layer mask, this is the layer mask, which allows it to fade into the image a little bit better. And the third layer mask is basically showing, this is very temporary, okay? It's just showing you the original sky and then the new sky side by side. And this is going to help us when it comes to working with the color and the light of the new sky. Because again, the color of the original sky really dictates the color of your landscape, right? Like when you have a warm colored sky, your landscape is going to look warmer as well. If you have a cool color sky, your landscape's going to look cool. And this is no matter what type of image. It doesn't have to be a landscape. It could be a portrait, any type of image. The sky is going to dictate not only the light settings, but also the color settings of your photo. So you want to make sure that you can see right here, this sky is much too blue, okay? And that's why it doesn't look realistic just yet. So let's go to our sky. There we go. We can go ahead and link the sky and the layer mask for the sky one more time. I want to wait to where I can edit the colors of my sky. And a great way to do that is with color balance adjustment layer. Let's go to our adjustments right over here. And we're going to grab a color balance. Fantastic. Now with this color balance, as of now, you're going to see it's just a color balance layer that's going to affect everything underneath it. So if I double click here and I change this color balance, it's going to affect not just the sky, but it's going to affect everything underneath it. Okay, let's go ahead and reset this by going to our adjustments, properties. There we go. And I'm going to go to reset. What I want to do for this color balance is I want to hold Alt or Option and clip this to just the sky. What that's going to do is it's going to make sure this color balance layer only affects the sky, the new sky, and I'll still be able to see everything else. So anything that I do with this color balance layer now is only going to affect the new sky. Okay, I know this has gone a lot, and like we could have just put this new sky in and called it a day, but by matching the color as well as the light level, it's going to look a lot more real. Okay. So with this new sky, let's go to our midtones here, and you have a few different sliders. We have cyan versus red, magenta versus green, and yellow versus blue. So I'm going to start to move these around a little bit and see, keeping an eye on the left-hand side here, how they kind of interact and work a little bit better with my original sky, okay? So by kind of moving these sliders around, I can see, my goal here is to try to make this like blue in the sky here just a little bit more similar to the left-hand side, right? I want to make sure that it looks closer to the original sky. There we go. And the closer I get it, the more realistic it's going to look. Let's go ahead and take this layer. I'm just going to turn that off and back on. And you can see already it looks a lot more realistic. There we go. With this color balance adjustment off, you can see we have a lot of blues and purples and magentas in this image. With this back on again, now you can start to see the colors, although they're not a perfect match with before, they look a lot closer to the original sky color, and you can see that the composite looks a lot better as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and double click on here, and we can start working with this. Now don't worry if you're not able to get these sliders exactly right, you can just get it to your best. Now we have options here for our midtones. I can also work on my highlights. So I can start to work on my highlights and just get these. Again, my goal here is to try to match, the new sky with the old sky in terms of color as best as I possibly can. Don't beat yourself up if you're not able to get it exactly right. That's totally okay. That's not the goal. You just want it to get close. There we go. And here we have our shadow color. There we go. Fantastic. And this is looking really good there as well. So just pushing these from the left to the right, and I can go back to my midtones and make any adjustments that I need right there as well. All right, well, I think that's looking really great. So let's just show you the before and the after. So by doing this, I'm able to get a much better vision of my image. The next thing I want to do, because I've already done a color balance, let's grab a levels adjustment and just make sure the light color, the lights and the darks are right as well. So we're going to go to adjustments. I'm going to go here to levels, and let's go ahead and clip this. So you can click on this icon, and again, going back to our layers panel, now you can see both the levels and the color balance are clipped to the new sky. So if I go to my levels, I can adjust my midtones. I can make my sky a little bit lighter if I need to. I can take my dark levels and work on my dark levels. I can make my light levels a little bit darker if I need to as well. Okay. And now sometimes I like to take these levels and bring them under my color balance. That way the coloring is going to be happening over top of my levels, and the results sometimes look a little bit more realistic. There we go. So as I move these sliders around, keep in mind, I'm trying to match like the light and the color level from each of these different layers. There we go. I think that looks good. So I took my center, like my gray point here, and I made this a little bit brighter. And I took my white point and I made that a little bit darker. And you can see it's a much better match there. The sky color here with the sky color there. Fantastic. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than when we started. So let's go ahead and take both of these color balance and levels. So let's just turn those both off and back on. And you can see it looks a lot better, and it matches the original sky a lot better as well. Okay. So now what we're ready to do, I hope that makes sense as to why we made all these layers and layer masks, because remember, this layer mask here, basically just a temporary thing that allows me to see the original sky with my new sky, so I can adjust the color and the light levels of the new sky and make it actually look right. So now I'm going to hold shift and click on this layer mask. There we go, for the, that divided it in half. And we don't need that layer mask anymore. I'm going to leave it intact because you're going to be able to download this PSD so you can actually see what we did. Just hold shift and click on that if you want to turn that off and on. But let's go ahead and take a look at this now with our new sky in there. So here I have, again, my sky, the layer mask for my sky, which is making it visible only in the sky. That's in a group, and in this group, I have a layer mask here on the group, and that's where it's kind of fading out towards the mountains. And then I have this color balance and levels adjustment layer, and you can see they're both clipped to the sky. So I'm going to make those both invisible and visible again. And you can see here in the before, it doesn't look bad, but it really doesn't look like these colors work with the colors in the foreground. It doesn't seem like these two really make sense together. But here in the after, you can see the colors and the light levels work a lot better together, and it looks a lot more like it would have in an original photograph. Now, here at the very end, if you want to, you can still go ahead and where you have your sky and your layer mask for the sky, you can unclip those now, and you can still move your sky around if you want to, okay? There's no right or wrong answer here because the color balance and the levels, those are clipped to my sky. So as I move this around, you're going to be able to see like, yeah, maybe these are the details that you want. Maybe you can kind of move these around and, get this to be a little bit more dramatic, or, kind of hit Control or Command T. You can scale this larger or smaller. You can really have a lot of fun with these skies and kind of move them around. But everything that we've talked about today should help you on your journey for replacing skies and making them look a lot more realistic. So remember what we first talked about was analyzing the light of the original background photo. This is coming from the right-hand side. The sun is relatively low in the sky and a relatively warm color. So when we found our new sky, we wanted to match as much of that as possible. So when we did our composite, it looks as realistic and as best as it can. And then from there, it's all about creating layer masks and then using levels and then color balance to get your light as well as your color to match that original sky. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget you can download these sample images as well as the PSD totally free on Phlearn.com. Just click on the link right down below. Thanks again, and we'll see you more for 30 days of Photoshop. Bye everyone.